Are we back?
No, I'm not back.
I don't feel like we're back, but it's good to be back.
You can shut up.
Anyways, I feel like we just... I don't think I've been really breathing lately. Just moving around, surviving. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Heal, Laugh, and Rise Up. I'm Jessie, your badass two-time cancer fighter, soul work mentor, and your favorite Latina.
Hi, and I'm Amber, a chemo nurse by day, caretaker to my husband by night, all while being a scrunchy mom.
We're here to talk all about our traumas and how we use them to grow, honey.
So grab your drink and let's get into today's miracle and shit show.
So what comes after survival? Because I definitely got pushed right back into survival mode.
Yeah.
And now it's time for a time of lament.
Yeah, I guess it's... You think it's time? How do we know it's time to feel what we really should feel? Or not should feel. Like, there's a lot of emotions that I've been pushing in the back of my head.
I think it's time to feel them.
Okay.
If you could recognize that you've been pushing them.
Yes.
Then maybe it's time to feel them.
Yeah.
Because when I am just surviving, I don't even know they exist. Right? Like, I went through all this, and we can get into the past month where we've been. But we went through all this, and then maybe a week ago, Mike was going into the restroom, and he stopped at the door, and he just looked at me, like, with these soft eyes, and he, like, stuck his arms out to hug me, and I was like, nope.
Nope.
Not right now. I cannot lose it. And it's in that exact moment when, like, you realize there's all these emotions. But seconds before that, I had no idea. And then I shoved them back away.
You did.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to get through the night.
Right.
Oh my God. It's just been a lot.
Just when you think you've gone through a lot, and then something happens, then you realize
shit keeps flying.
It just keeps raining and pouring, and then you somehow manage.
You always manage.
You always manage.
You don't know how, but it happens.
So many people, feel alone because of that. Not being able to figure it out, but just manage. And then you just start floating through life. Is that wrong?
I don't think it's wrong, but
it's not healthy.
I don't think it's healthy. And I think everything works with moderation, right?
I'm trying to even remember how we ended the year. I don't even remember.
Girl, we ended it all hopeful sitting right here recording.
Did we? I don't even remember.
Episode, which I went to go edit, and then life started happening. It never got posted, and now I don't even want to hear it. We're so hopeful, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're probably really jolly.
I think I was actually don't really remember, but I think I don't remember either. Happy, like, raw milk was coming back.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. We did talk about raw milk coming back. That's a big thing.
So guys, if you haven't had raw milk, it's back. Go get yourself some raw milk.
Sprouts?
Yeah. It's called Raw Farms. They sell it at Sprouts. If you're in the San Diego area, there's one in Ramona. I don't remember the name of that brand or the farm. And then if I think you're like near Raw Farms, there's a competitor, Clara Farms or Clara something. They also have raw milk. They sell it at Bristol Farms.
Maybe you can tell me the milk. My girlfriend was talking about it this weekend. Nata is the stuff that comes out of the milk. Okay. The top stuff, right? You purchased some milk, and it's kind of like a little yellowishy. And I told you my mom would love this, and I was trying to tell my girlfriend about it, but I didn't know what kind of milk that was. Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. It's Alexander. It's the Alexander brand of their grass-fed milk, and it's yellowish because of the nutrients from the grass. That's how it's kind of like the butter is more yellowy when it's grass-fed. It's the same concept. And then the milk is also, for lack of better words, chunky, and you have to shake it. It's non-homogenized, which means they haven't, again, for lack of better words, like blended it to break down all those molecules so that it just pours smoothly. So you have the lumps of fat. So if it's really cold, it'll separate.
Yeah, I was telling her about it. She just kept saying, that sounds so good. That sounds so good. And I'm like, and I went online trying to find it, but I didn't want to tell her which one. So it's the Alexander's.
Yeah, if you don't want raw milk, so the raw milk is the same way. But if you don't want raw, Alexander, it's spelled Alexandre, R-E at the end, family farms. And it's just this like small little Christian family run, selling milk, running a dairy farm. But they have grass-fed, they have, it's all A2 milk.
Oh, so it says A2?
It'll say A2.
Grass-fed también dice?
Yeah, but you don't need to buy the grass-fed one. Their A2 milk has a lot of grass-fed in it. It's just not purely grass-fed.
So look for that brand, and it says A2, and it's kind of yellowy. That's how.
Yeah, and it's in a jug instead of a carton. They have carton milks, and I want to say their whole milk goes up to like 4% of fat in their cartons, and that's not the one you're talking about. It's the one that's I think it's 6%.
Okay,
and it'll say VATS batch, VATS.
Okay,
is how they pasteurize it. Is with small vats. So it's not ultra pasteurized. It still has some of the good probiotics and stuff. So if you're not really feeling the whole raw milk scene, I think that's the closest to still having having some good nutrients in your milk.
Yeah, I wanted to get that from my mom because when I saw it here months ago, or maybe last year,
it reminded you of the rancho.
Yes, el rancho, la leche del rancho, but I never got the name, and I just never went to look for it. But I do want to get it from my mom. I want her to try it. I think she'll like it. She loves milk. Yeah,
honestly, that was the milk that we started drinking when raw milk was gone. But then everyone bought that, so it was gone within seconds. But I trust that company a lot. So whenever I like get milk for other people, if they don't tell me a specific brand, that's the brand I'm gonna buy.
Yeah.
I'm not for ultra pasteurized milks. It disturbs me that, to me, that means the farm was allowed to cut corners.
Okay.
And when you're thinking in a business mind, if I'm allowed to cut corners, why am I not cutting corners? I think at that point, you're not even seen as cutting corners. We could abuse our animals. We can keep them all close together. They get sick. It doesn't matter. I'm giving them antibiotics. I'm giving them all this stuff. And then I have all this bacteria in the milk. Well, it doesn't matter because I'm going to ultra pasteurize it. I'm going to cook it. Right. And then it's going to pass and be up to code. So why am I going to spend all this extra money making sure I'm humanely treating these animals? If that wasn't my intention anyways, I'm definitely not doing it now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's what's happening in the milk industry. It's a fear that I have. And I don't have time to deep dive into all the different milk brands out there and see which one is being humane and ethically about, I just don't have it in me. So I got in an argument literally like a week ago. Someone told me, if you don't drink pasteurized milk, why does it matter? Don't you steam your milk for your coffee? Do you ever microwave your milk? And I said, I do, but at least I know it started clean. Like, I understand I'm pasteurizing it when I stick it in the microwave or when I stick it in my little steam foamer for my coffee. But
you're like,
at least I knew it started clean, and it wasn't like I was doing it so I could kill all the bacteria and sell it to a bunch of people and make a bunch of money. So that's my fear. Again, I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
So again, I haven't done my research in that, but.
How long did they pull it off the shelves? I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. It was a couple months. It came back like beginning of January.
And it was all fine and dandy up until then.
And even throughout it all.
Even throughout, yeah.
Supposedly they found this bird flu in 2 of their gallons sold on the shelf. Supposedly. Shut down the farm. And then maybe I'll even share one of her stories, but they found nothing. They shut them down and made them jump through hoops. And then it came out that there was nothing found anywhere. They just did this to try and get them to stop selling raw milk. But
it's back
behind us. And I hope,
And I'm not going to get into the whole egg thing because I somehow I feel like you're a farmer, even though you're not. You're the person I come to for answers. But the whole egg thing, I just, I don't eat egg. I never have. So, everybody talks about the prices and I don't know any different. I never buy them. Alex eats eggs every day. But having this conversation with all these people, what happened to the eggs?
You want to get into it or you don't want to get into it?
Is it a big one? Is it a big story?
No. I honestly don't
You don't know. Yeah.
I've had hell on earth going on for a month, so I haven't had time to really look into it.
You just know that the eggs are expensive.
No, they're not even they're not even there.
They're not even there.
I haven't been able to find eggs. The 3 times I've gone to the store, it's been empty. I DoorDashed food 1 time and I Instacarted food 1 time, and all 5 of those times I was told there's no eggs. And sent a picture of the empty egg shelf. I'm understanding from people that it's expensive. And when I went on DoorDash to get it, or maybe it was Instacart, one of the two, I saw that there was a purchase of 2 minimum, maximum, like limit. You can only buy 2 things. So I was like, I felt like COVID days again.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, we're hoarding the eggs.
Yeah, we're rationing out the eggs.
But if I had to guess, I think it probably has to do with this whole bird flu outbreak, and we're lessening so it's supply and demand, right? The demand is really high, but so then the supply was high, and then supposedly there was all this bird flu, and now the supply is low, but the demand hasn't changed.
Yeah, right.
So everyone's buying them up, and if the demand is high, it means we can sell them for more, and that's how that goes. But I was at the grocery store with my mom. My mom was here when Mike was in and out of the hospital. So we went to the store and there was eggs. There was maybe like 15, they're not cartons, whatever they're called, little styrofoam things. And I said, oh, Mackenzie, look, there's eggs. So we walked over there and I looked at them, and the first 2 that I opened were all broken. So I'm sure I could have kept looking because they looked fine. I'm sure there was some in there. But just the first 2 cartons I opened were broken. It was the type of eggs I don't buy.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I don't need it.
Yeah.
I'll keep going with.
You're like tortillas and queso for breakfast.
Yeah. That's exactly what we've been having. So yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's really been interesting to hear it seems like everybody eats eggs. Yesterday I was out with friends and they said one of them eats 4 eggs every single day. Yeah. Well, my girlfriend says she eats 3 boiled eggs every day, so she boils them for the whole week. So I didn't know that everybody eats eggs, that many eggs every day.
I didn't know that either, because I eat a lot of eggs and I've been made fun of. My maiden name is Eggly. And I've been made fun of my whole life because my family could throw down with some eggs.
All of them?
All of us. Eggs are no problem, girl.
Yeah, we should get chickens. And I saw deer for the first time in a while. I mean, I'm sure they're always here, but...
Well, after the fires, they weren't.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing them.
Were you worried about all of them?
No, because they move wildlife. Fast? This is their world, they know what to do. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I
guess I do worry about the ones that have become...
Older?
No, they've become, reliant on humans.
Oh, yeah, they're a little domesticated, maybe?
Yeah,
somehow.
And we have that.
Yeah, I kept thinking during the fires, amongst many things that we all went through, but I thought about the wildlife, and I thought the poor bears. But then a few weeks after, there they were.
Yeah. There was a bear that stayed in someone's house, under their house. If that house caught fire, that bear would be dead.
Yeah.
That's not something they do in nature, to live under someone's house.
Right.
But he stayed under the house until the fires passed.
And
he was fine.
I thought that maybe they would keep migrating over the mountain, just start going farther and farther away in my mind, because I don't know how wildlife works.
I thought the same.
And then I thought, how are they going to come back to their town? But they're animals.
I'm sure they'll come back, no problem. But yeah, I think, they probably know that there's fires before we even know.
That's true.
Get up and go. I was a little worried because how I keep saying they're denning, right? I'm like, they're denning.
Yes,
they're
you're like,
denning.
maybe they're not denning.
I did. I told Mike, I'm like, if they're denning, like, they're going to die. The fire is going to go. They're not going to know there's a fire.
Yeah.
And Mike was very nonchalant. Mr. Mike was, they'll be fine. So I'm just going to hope that means they'll be fine. He knows a lot more than I do. So.
Yeah, when I saw a deer in your yard last week, I was really happy to see that. And I just saw one earlier right now, too.
Yeah, they look healthy.
Yeah, they look healthy.
They look good.
They look good. Yeah, they don't look like they're injured or todo rascuacho.
Yeah.
Rascuachos means all fucked up,
Yeah.
Was our last episode recorded when the deer came out? The bear?
That was 2 episodes
ago. 2
yeah.
episodes. That guy just came out of nowhere.
I thought about that too because I just heard.
I know, because I saw you look. So we sit out here and then we hear a little thing and then Amber will turn around and look behind her.
And check.
And then I have to turn around and look.
But we are in a new spot because our previous recording studio is currently trashed by the soot and ash.
Yeah. Gosh.
But I think I would just send that all to the dry cleaner. I haven't thrown it away yet.
No, we can wash it. I'll wash it.
Oh, I washed these cushions and it got really gross. So I asked my coworkers and they said to send stuff like that to the dry cleaner. And then they don't stick it in a machine, And they'll
so
hand
stay
wash
nice.
each piece. So okay. Yeah, most of Mackenzie's stuff, I tried washing a lot of it, especially the stuff that were out here.
Yeah.
I tried washing a lot of it, and some of it came out great. And other stuff came out just, I feel like the soot just, went deeper into it.
Yeah.
And then she had some of these, I don't know the brand. It wasn't Wormies, but they were those 2 little teddy bears you can throw in the microwave?
Yes.
Or you could freeze them?
Yes.
Well, I washed those because they were disgusting. And I don't know if it's corn or what's inside of them.
Oh.
But it just smelled like yeast after.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, God, this smells terrible. Oh, my God, Tracy, hello. So I had to throw those away because so I threw those away. But shout out to Wormies. Wormies donated 60 stuffed animal Wormies.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so we got a new one.
Incredible how the communities have come together.
Yeah.
Really incredible.
Yeah, a lot of my patients have lost their homes. And they're coming in and, it's really sad. And most of them are telling us stories of how they're getting help. And all these food trucks that are pulling up and feeding everyone. And it's just really amazing how everyone has come together.
Yeah.
I see a lot of good, but it's really sad. I wish we could have just had all this good without all the tragic.
Yeah.
Can we just help everyone? But
yeah, you drive through the cities and you just see piles of water, food, clothes, people helping. I mean, it sucks that it takes something like this because it's in all of us, right?
Yeah.
And it's in all those hundreds of people that we've seen in the community. And it's nice, but it's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
Because it's between nice, it's something beautiful, but the tragedy just is. I've never experienced anything like this, and I am not in the city where the fires were. I do work in the neighborhood city and where it had to be evacuated, but I haven't. I haven't driven by any of that area. I don't think I could.
Yeah, I don't drive to work the same way because I did one day and girl, I had to pull over 3 times just to cry. It was just, everything's gone.
Yeah.
It just, at first you're like, oh, this looks weird was my first thought. And then there's no emotion to that. It was just oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
And then when I started realizing why it's weird, I was like, damn. And then you get a little bit further and you're like, oh my God, this is just chimney after chimney after chimney. But then you realize there used to be homes attached to those chimneys. Dang. It's just really, really sad. The doctor I work for lost her home and I've heard a lot of people make statements like, oh, well, she's a doctor, or oh, well,
Okay, yeah.
insurance will cover it. Like,
Mhm.
you don't know what someone's going through. It's just insane. There's a lot of ugly, but there's a lot of beauty. And it's an emotional roller coaster.
Places, your facility where you work, the clinic you work for, around you, not just on the street, but actually around you are gone.
Everything around me.
Meaning like
And
50 feet from you or 20 feet from you.
yeah. So right now, because everyone has these like chain link fences have been put up.
Oh, are they?
gonna-
Okay, yeah.
So it's the building I work in and the building right next door
Mhm.
were untouched. So, you know, like the trees on the property are gone
Okay.
or burnt, singed. The rose bushes in front of the building are gone. So you could see the fire made it to the building. It just
Yeah.
didn't light the building.
Right.
And then the building next door, they still have some tape around. So I'm assuming maybe something burnt, but they look like they're fine.
Okay.
And then everything around it is gone. Across the street, I don't know how we just got skipped, but across the street, there's a McDonald's. The shell is still there,
Okay.
but it's all burnt and closed up and boarded. So it's just like, it literally just missed the two buildings. And I don't know, some people are saying because it's made out of brick.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the two are made out of brick, so they're fine. And everything around us that's gone isn't made out of brick. But it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that has to
Just
be.
to see everything that's gone.
Yeah, and you see it not every day, the days you work.
The days I work. It's just too hard to look at. But the smell,
Yeah.
I'm so glad the smell at home has gotten better.
Yes.
The smell at work is still pretty strong. And it's just all the stuff in the air that they're saying, you know, oh, well.
And then the water wasn't safe for a long time.
Well, the water.
Well, they weren't sure if it was safe, right?
So it wasn't that it wasn't safe. Some places it wasn't in Pasadena. Some places it was known not to be safe. So then they kind of just started saying, don't drink the water.
Yeah, it's better to say that than we don't. Yeah.
And then it came back, like barely just came back on.
Yeah.
Go ahead and drink the water. It's safe. But yeah, it was really crazy. And insurance wasn't paying for people to move out when their water wasn't good because it was considered, what did they say? I don't have this type of insurance, so it didn't matter to me. But some of my neighbors are well insured. And I think they said that it was like we don't pay for displacement just for inconveniences. Like it was an inconvenience if you couldn't drink your water. I was like, I feel like.
Well, isn't that what you need to live? Well, I guess that's an inconvenience, right? But
well, that's why I was like, I feel
isn't
like
that a source of life?
Exactly.
Source of life, like
inconvenience.
Yeah.
But okay, Tracy.
Around your neighborhood, I have a question. Have they started to like trucks come in and take all the debris or not yet? I'm curious about that.
No, so supposedly Public Works has supposedly come in and kind of cleaned up debris.
Okay.
In general, so like all of these trees that have fallen. But as you can see, I still have all my shit.
Yeah.
And then our trash company is Athens, and Athens dropped off like a bunch of containers so people could use them. National Guard was in doing like their reports to say like what's I guess they break it down to like what's destroyed, what's been damaged, and then what's okay. So they came around and did that, and you got little tags on your doors. And then I think it was another part of like FEMA and National Guard that's going to come and remove the burnt homes.
Okay.
So we have one right here at the top of this hill, and then we have two on that street that have been burnt.
So three total in this community.
17.
17 in
Oh, actually, maybe it's 12 homes. He has 12.
Okay.
I think that's like not counting businesses or something.
Oh yeah.
So it's not a lot right here.
Yeah.
And it was mainly just like little embers that would light up different parts.
How scary and traumatic looking at that map when you're not home and you have to live somewhere else. I mean, you're just glued to that. I mean,
I was definitely
glued to that map
every hour just to check it.
Just to see. And then and I don't really know the map very well because I've never downloaded that app. Some parts look really red, and I'm like, what does that mean? Or it's pink, right? And I was like, no, everything's fine. And I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but I also didn't want to be bugging you so much. Like I wanted
didn't have any information anyway.
Right, I know, that's why. And it's like, what am I good? What good am I gonna do? Like, hey, I need to,
I will say it was pretty. I was talking. I ran into a neighbor in town today, and she was like, oh, the house across the street from our garage caught fire. She goes, so our house is covered in set. And that's the one up here on this hill.
Okay.
She's like, we snuck back in the day after to get some stuff, and that's when it caught. So her husband ran over there, and they were putting it out with their water hoses.
Wow.
Called 911, and then the gasoline tank for his generator in his carport caught fire, and that's when they pretty much like knew they couldn't do much with their water hoses.
Wow.
And just started like wetting everything around it. So she's like telling me about like she's thrown everything away, like all her cushions. She's actually the one previously a couple weeks ago told me like, come by, I have some stuffed animals for Mackenzie, and get any of them that you want to keep and take them to the dry cleaner. It won't get ruined. So she's telling me today about how bad everything was, and she had to throw everything away because like my house, it's not super insulated. It's like you have windows open.
Right.
So we came home and everything inside the house was horrible. Like we scrubbed the carpets, we got rid of the couch. It just everything's ruined. And we don't have the type of insurance to cover that. So I think FEMA was giving $770 to people
to help get cleaning.
No, just like that check if you were affected.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I was like, oh, I'll apply for that, and then it'll help me with the cleaning and replacing my couch and stuff.
Right.
Well, 3 different times the application, like online, went down. So I was like, oh, okay. And I kept saving it so I wouldn't have to keep redoing
Start
the
over,
parts.
yeah.
But the first 2 times I had to start over anyways. The 3rd time it went down. I was like, fuck this. And I just closed it. I figured I'll get back to it at some point.
Yeah.
I still haven't. It's just, there's been too much going on.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just really tragic. Like, my situation is ash and soot. Compared to someone who lost their home, it's still $770.
Oh.
Yeah. So there are other things FEMA is doing.
Okay.
But nothing that makes sense to me.
Nothing that matches with the conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so what are the taxpayers paying for? I'm just so confused. But it's moments like this that really open your eyes to like how lucky you can be. I'm very lucky to live here. It's great outdoors and everything, but this isn't our first fire we've lived through, and we've only lived here 7 years. Yeah, I think March will be 7 years. So it's like we're aware of the downside to it. It's just very interesting. But at the same time, like, I was very lucky. Mike was in the hospital on the 4th and the 5th.
Okay.
Just fucking dying, not doing well. And then he was able to hold the 6th and the 7th. He was able, well, this all started like right the day we recorded our New Year's. So like the 29th or something. He's just been not well. And then the 4th and the 5th, I called 911 for him. Looks like he's having a heart attack. They were going to admit him. We were able to get an appointment with his specialist. So they discharged us. Came home, and then that's when we evacuated on the 7th. So we went to the doctors on the 7th at like 4 or 5 p.m. He was like 5. I was after I got off work. I took him to the doctor here in Pasadena. Came out of the doctor's appointment and saw the fire. So text my coworker and the doctor I work for, and I said, there's a fire at work and by your house. And I said, but I don't see anything online.
Okay.
And the doctor was like, I just talked to my neighbor, and it's the Palisades fire. And I said, no, it's not. There's a fire by your house. I could see it. So I sent her a picture. I had Mike take a picture while I was driving here to let you go home. I drove here, and she responded, and she's like, No, my neighbors and I, like, we can't, there's nothing. But that's like, it was 6:30 when we came out.
Yeah.
But that's when the fire started. So we came home. I already had a feeling, like, with the winds.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Oh, yeah, because it was very windy.
It was
yeah.
so windy.
Yeah, that's right.
But then everyone was saying, "Oh, it's blowing west." It's like, "Oh, well, if it blows west, we're fine."
Yeah, because you're east of it.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, no big deal." And then I got a call from a neighbor who did evacuate.
Okay.
Just because they for whatever reason, calls me and says there's a fire. They're in Duarte, which is more east of me than me, and said the fire's over here, so our house is in between it. Like, you need to leave, because if either of these fires go either direction, it'll go into where we live. I said, okay. So I started packing stuff up, and then we got the notice that we were like a warning evacuation. Like, it's recommended, but not.
Yeah, it's not mandatory.
Mandatory, yeah. So then we left just because Mike was not well.
Yeah, my
I
gosh.
had the baby, the dogs.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, we don't move that fast.
Yeah.
And I had already spent like an hour packing. Thankfully, we've done this before. I remember the first time we did this, I was not as efficient.
Okay, now you're
a pro, I guess.
Well, you know what's important to take and what.
But at that point, Mike was semi-well. Not well enough for us to, like, each drive a car.
Right.
But he was semi-well, which, I mean, that is a blessing in itself. So we made it to the Ralph's parking lot. And then Ralph's was closed because they had no power. And then we could see the fire coming down the hill. And
you can see it. Like, at that point, you're like,
it's going to burn down. In Hastings Ranch, which Hastings Ranch is gone. So I was like, this is not a safe place to be.
You're like, we got to keep moving out of here.
Well, I thought, well, let's just go more east. So then we made it to Walmart. And we stayed in Walmart for like 3 nights. And from Walmart, which is like 6 miles away, I just, all night, you can just watch the fire climbing towards us on the hill. I thought, oh, it's already got to our house. And then I saw a Facebook post of this building over here being gone. It wasn't no pictures or anything. It just said Nature Friends is gone. I thought, if Nature Friends is on fire, the whole canyon's gone. Yeah. Like, there's no way.
Because that's right on the other side of this hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how much fuel is there?
Yeah.
Vegetation fuel.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So the whole place is going to be gone. I just said that, like, that fucking sucks. But I had all the valuables I needed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things I definitely would want from my house.
Oh, definitely.
But I looked at Mike and I said, Nature Friends is gone. I'm sure the canyon's gone. And then he made it through the evacuation. Just kind of like dying in the camper, but alive.
Yeah.
And then we got home, and it's almost like by the grace of God, it kept him well enough until we got home. And then we got home, and maybe it's adrenaline, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Right. And then that subsides, and now he's sick again. I'm calling 911 again. So for 2 days, we had the firemen coming, picking him up. These are firemen that I've built relationships with over the years of living here. So familiar faces. We, while they're getting Mike situated, we're chatting it up in the street.
Yeah.
And then they go out from me calling them at 4 or 5 in the morning. Now they're fighting fires.
Right.
And then the fires are behind us, and here I am calling 911 again. So they're showing up, and I'm like, hey, thanks for saving my house. Like, you guys have saved my husband. You've saved my house. They're so nice with Mackenzie. They're giving her little badges, and plastic fire hats. And it's just like, oh my God, these men. I'd say women too, but I don't think we have women. And if we do, they've never come to my house with me present. So specifically, these men just have a very special place in my heart.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. It was just a lot at once.
It is. It is. There's still a lot going on. And like I was talking, what I said earlier, reflecting on it, or knowing, like you said, I forgot how you worded it, but when you said, when you know, that's when you should start.
Yeah. I think
when you don't know, because you're just
Yeah, you don't
You
even
have
know
no
it.
idea. You have no idea.
But I think that's like, people will come up to me like, hey, you've been through a lot. Have you been processing it? And you're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, no, I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
No.
It was like when Mike hugged me and it made me realize, oh my God, there's so many emotions.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. But
and that's okay not to be ready. I feel like sometimes people pressure.
Oh yeah. And that's why you respond to fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be, I'm not a rude person, but sometimes I feel, a little, ¿cómo se dice when you're, when it's too much? ¿Cómo se dice? Like you feel smothered maybe?
Yeah.
These are my friends and these are my family. So these aren't people like the lady in the corner who's a chismosa. It's people that care.
Yeah,
but I
we
feel
have
like
those
if they
cousins
care,
that are chismosa.
right? But if they do care, they would validate and they would respect that I want my space. That doesn't mean that I'm trying to ignore people or I'm trying to ignore the problem. I had people say like, "Oh, you need to face it." I am facing it.
Yeah, in your way.
I'm facing what I have to, not have to. Let me rephrase that. I'm facing and reacting to the way my heart wants to react. Maybe later I could do work on whatever, but right now I want to do this, and I feel like I don't have to explain myself.
You shouldn't.
I really don't have to.
That way.
And I can't change or make you I don't want to say I don't care what you think about me because that's too strong. So I don't know how to phrase it.
But I think in that moment, if you really care, like we've talked about this, I think your sister put it out with the whole parenting thing. If I'm going through it, let me do it. Then later when things have calmed down, come and tell me so I could be better next time.
Yeah.
But not in the moment.
But why does that better next time? If I don't want to talk to somebody about anything, why does it have to be better next time? If that's the way I'm processing things. Like,
well, I think we do still need to reflect.
Yeah, well, definitely. I'm one who
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
by,
right.
Next time, like come back to it.
Yeah.
But in the moment, no, I don't think it's right
I don't
for people to
feel like
you.
I have to explain myself and like it's an emotional thing. I love you guys very much, and Mike has been really suffering lately, and it sucks to see it.
It's been a lot.
It's been very rough, and yeah, just because I'm not open to talk about things doesn't mean I don't love you as a friend. I just need a little space. Like the people that I talk to every day, well, it's my mom and my husband. Sometimes not even my sisters, There's no hard feelings. It's not like, hey, you're not checking in on me like every day. Like, cool, it's okay.
Cool. You give me some space.
Yeah. So balancing that, I've been grieving a lot for my friends that did lose everything. And it's such a hopeless feeling, It's really a hopeless. I wish I can do so much. But being there, I guess, it just doesn't feel like enough on my end. But I also remember when I was sick and people would just text me little here and there. But then what if they don't want it? I just thought of that.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how I said, like, people are like, hey, how's it going? How's it going? You feel like you're suffocating. How about if they feel the same way with me texting all the time? Like, hey, how's it? Or like little memes and here and there. I don't really know either.
True. But to me, like, I have a lot of people sending me stuff. I've heard a lot of people saying, like, why am I not? Where'd the podcast go? Even that. And it doesn't upset me.
Yeah, that doesn't upset me.
But at the same time, I haven't responded to half of them.
Yeah.
I'm just in my little cave doing my little thing, surviving.
Yeah.
Now it's the people that are saying, why are you ignoring me? Hey, is everything okay? Hey, how come you're not responding?
Yeah.
Those are the ones where I'm like, okay, you're in the last of my priority to get back to.
Get back to
because
back
there's
the
emotions
line,
with that, right? There's that I'm being smothered emotions. But the other people who are literally just sending me like, hey, just thinking about you, hope you're okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
With no reply, with nothing expected back.
Yeah, maybe, every now and then it'll end with a let me know. But it's not, every time they text me, I don't feel like they're pressuring me.
Okay, good.
It's just hey, just check it in, let you know I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a big thing of they're not demanding a response. They're literally letting me know they're thinking about me. That's good. And I think that's a big thing for me personally that helps me not feel pressure.
Right.
And annoyed with the people.
Yeah.
Would you say it's the same or?
I have people and have some families too that they take it personal if I just like everything's good and I just don't indulge in everything. I had to take I'm trying to take a social media break. I just feel like I just need to really just detox and cleanse from a lot of things so I can like realign myself. For me personally. Then on top of that, I've been really busy with just a bunch of stuff. So it's just kind of like, it's almost like sometimes I feel like I have to tell people I wake up at this time and then I'm at work for 10 hours.
Yeah.
And then I come home and I have like an hour window to be with my husband.
Yeah.
That I want to cook dinner with, have dinner together, and then lay in the bed and watch TV together. By that time, the day is gone.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not that I'm like, I don't know, but maybe because I was like, I'm a social person, but maybe it's a different version of me.
Yeah.
That people are not used to, maybe.
For sure.
And and like I told my girlfriends this weekend, we had a girls' weekend, and I said, I just don't really have the energy, and I just want to chill. And that's okay.
I think that's 100% okay.
And when you're with your true friends, it's the most beautiful thing because I don't feel like I have to like
you don't have
go.
I
have to go to the casino and have to dance. If I go to the casino and I sit there and just watch the band, I'm happy.
All we doing, girl.
We ain't getting up. Listen, none of us got up, but two people. I think one of them fell asleep sitting there. I'm not gonna mention her name, but she slept. But yeah, it's so interesting. And I think a lot of it is people they feel like, I don't want to say the power, but it's almost like it's not about you. If you're a good friend, it's just like shove love and then just wait, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a kid when your mom tells you stop doing this and stop it and stop it and stop it, you're not going to stop it. I feel like you can push people away. So anyways, that's my pedo. But yeah, I want to learn how to be more supportive, and sometimes I don't want to be pushy because I know what it feels like to feel suffocated a little bit. And I feel bad because I'm being suffocated in a good way. But sometimes I just want to be left alone a little bit.
I got you. I think
not by you though.
No.
Please, I need you.
You're like, you need to.
Not you, cabrona. Yeah, you need to.
Like, you made some comments that I don't. You're just like, sitting there waiting to hear back.
I know. I'm like, I told you once. I'm like, I'm gonna be like your mom. Can I be like? I'm just gonna, you know.
No, that's totally fine. But I think something I have changed.
Yeah.
Is I now start vocalizing these things.
Yeah.
People who matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
I will find time. It's usually. I'm not someone who takes my phone to the restroom. I know that's a really common thing.
Yeah.
I'm not someone who does that. I also don't watch TV. I don't have a TV. Okay. Do I have a TV in my bedroom now?
No, you don't.
No. Like, I just don't, none of that stuff really appeals to me.
Right, yeah.
Right? But in times of, like this, when I'm in survival mode, I do make it a point, at least one time in the whole week, I'll take my phone with me when I'm in the bathroom, and I will respond to the few people, and I will literally say, hey, like, I'm in my little cave, but I'm okay. Thanks for checking in on me.
Yeah.
And I'll send it. But that doesn't go to everyone.
Right.
That goes to, like, the people that I know care about me and are probably worried. And I just do it because I know how it feels to be on the other side.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And I don't do it where it's really out of my way. I just make a point. And then everyone else can go fuck themselves. Yeah. And it's not because I don't love them.
Yeah, and it's not you hate them.
No,
no ill intentions.
I absolutely adore.
There is no ill will, no bad malicious thoughts or feelings. It's just how it is right now.
Yeah. It's funny because most of my friendships, you know, I don't question my obligation in being in their life more. My best friends, I'm like, everyone's like, that's your best friend? You haven't seen her in forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her. I choose her. I pick her and she's stuck with me.
That was a very strong statement you just said. Can you say it again? I don't feel
obligated.
Yeah, say that one more time.
What did I say?
You said my true friends. Oh, it was so good. Well, we'll have to rewind it. It was so good. You said my true friends, I don't feel obligated to
be in their life.
Yes.
Is that what I said?
I think so.
That's what I meant.
It was pretty powerful because that's what true friendship is. You don't feel any obligation.
No.
Or you don't feel like, oh shit, like I haven't seen her and now I feel guilty. So when I talk to her, it's gonna be embarrassing because I didn't invite her to whatever, you know?
Yeah, there's none of that feeling. And I will call them, I will text them. They will get back to me when they can.
Yeah. And if they don't text you right away, it doesn't make you mad, right?
No, I'm so glad when I hear back from them. And I genuinely think it's the same feeling on their end.
Yeah.
They're probably glad when they finally hear back from me. I'm just as bad, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, is it bad? I'm just as bad? No, I'm just the same way.
Mm-hmm.
That's how our relationship is. And then some people, so there's people in town or who see me because I work with them a lot, right? Where I'm physically in their life a lot.
Yes.
Who will think that my best friend is my neighbor.
Okay.
Because I'm always talking about her. I'm always with her. If I go to Costco, I share half the food.
Yeah.
I can't eat 2 tubs of dip. I can only eat 1 tub before they go bad.
Yeah.
Or if I make a whole pot of spaghetti, I'll like share half my sauce. Things like that we'll share. And people are like, oh, are you going to take so-and-so to the concert or whatever?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like, no, that's just my neighbor. Like, I love her. I adore her. But I would probably take like my really close friends before to any of these special events, right? And that just blows people's minds that, oh, I thought that was your best friend.
Right.
You never talk about your best friend. Like, I feel like I do, but it's just a different relationship.
Right, yeah.
But anyways.
Why don't you guys like, follow, share with your comadre, your tío, your cousin, your friend. Just hit that subscribe button.
See y'all next week.
See you next week.